It's the final countdown of the season's farewell split. 114 teams worldwide competed in spring regionals to try and make the major. 16 teams succeeded. Here's how each and everyone made it to Boston, RLCS in here.
5th seeds. Gen G in 5th seed. It sounds unbelievable, but it was even more intense than that.
The British are coming, and they're bringing the young Prince Chronic to Boston.
Gen G needed favors from their fellow Americans Optic in knocking out FaZe Clan and then G2 to even get that tiebreaker. But once there, they finally looked like their full major winning selves. One man remains from the legendary Rise Joy over Tira major winning trio. And if you're to believe his pre-split Twitter blues, Joyo is not the one fans would have wanted to stay. What? Thankfully, lovely Joyo is better than even he realizes, reaching Europe's top 5 alongside LAN debutant Juicy and fellow Englishman Cash, famously the second most mechanical ginger in Rocket League behind, well, yours truly. He was last seen on the big stage rapping Quadrant at Rotterdam's full major.
4th seeds. Top 4 at the Winter Major and winning the Spring Open should have springboarded Complexity to a nerveless run to Boston, but one dodgy result threw all of that hard work up in the air.
He's all on himself, can he do it? He's done it! NRG do what nobody thought was possible. They take down Complexity in dramatic fashion.
North America was so wide open that going into the Invitational, all 5 LAN spots were up for grabs. Thankfully for Complexity, a top 8 securing win against version 1 was enough to bring them to Boston at the expense of the All-American Super Team.
What a recovery from Complexity!
A similar tale here for Liquid. Top 4 at the Winter Major.
Liquid flow like water to the semifinals!
Second in the Spring Open.
Huge fake blow on that zone! Guess who? Team Liquid! See you in the grand finals!
And then a middling Spring Cup and Invitational. A chronic lack of form won't worry him too much, so expect to ski a fresh start going into their 4th RLCS Major in a tow.
3rd seeds. Optic became the undisputed darlings of the Spring Invitational when 3-0 down against FaZe Clan. Lose this, FaZe go to Boston. Optic probably stay home.
Numbers advantage. Mist has to get around Reynolds. He can't. And AJ scores. Open net. They each other. Now nobody's back. Magic Bear. Cherry Picker. And we're going to game 7. Reynolds will close out. AJ ahead. Can Mist catch up? No, he can't. First killer was not too strong. Reynolds will spike it. And Optic Gaming completes the 3rd North American reverse sweep.
NA's 3rd best of 7 reverse sweep ever has allowed Magic Bear to finally compete at his first LAN. And also congrats to AJ for reverse sweeping the team that dropped him in the offseason. Oh, and Rettles for leading his team to a huge result after being written off countless times. Safe to say Optic deserve a lot of support in Massachusetts. Carmine Corp finishes 3rd seed by... wait a sec. Carmine Corp finished as 3rd seed? Yeah, that's what happens when you have the audacity to finish 4th, 2nd, and 4th in a massively improved EU. KC haven't got worse, the rest of the regions just got better. But any Blue Wall members behind North American enemy lines will still expect a decent effort at keeping hold of their winter crown.
2nd seeds. Furia were this close to their North American move being deemed a failure after missing the first 2 majors of the season. What a difference a well-timed heroic upswing can make.
Fury on the
No one. This might be it. It lost. That could be the final dagger.
Suddenly, Furia are the terrifying Brazilians of old. Even cooler than that, Lost becomes the first player in RLCS history to win a regional in 2 regions in the same season. Meanwhile, Team BDS were this close to their post-Worlds winning season being deemed a failure after missing the first 2 majors of the season. What a difference a well-timed roster move can make. Rise, Agent of Chaos, has made all 3 majors this season with 3 different teams. And we all know what happened last time Monkey Moon and Seiko competed at an RLCS LAN. Ostromek struggled at the start of last split after moving on from the club, but victory in the Winter Invitational, when LAN qualification was already beyond them, showed Ninjas in Pyjamas' potential.
NIP are back!
That momentum grew exponentially this split, as victory in the Spring Cup meant that all Ninjas in Pyjamas had to do was hold their nerve in the Invitational to book their flight to Boston. After running well at the Fall Major, Amphis, Torsos and Fever were, well, disappointing in Winter, as for the first time in Torsos' long career, they weren't even part of the OCE LAN qualification conversation. A lesser team would have folded, but Power went back to the drawing board, figured out what was wrong, and smashed their way back to the world stage.
First seeds. Congrats to Crew, who not only qualify as South America's first seed, but avoid a nerve-jangling tiebreaker for the first time this season. Their spring results: first, second, first. We would say GG easy, but considering their 2 victories both went to Game 7, and one needed the only successful bracket reset anywhere out of the 114 teams who competed to be here, it was probs a little trickier than it appears at first glance. The goated James Cheese branding may be no more, but Virtuoso, Kami and Realize are back as Elevate after missing the Winter Major. Wins in the Spring Open and Cup may have suggested they were pulling away once more from the rest of their region, but despite resetting the bracket against those pesky gladiators in the Spring Invitational, they couldn't quite get the regional Grand Slam.
Denied the opportunity. LCT to OSM, the best player of last split, and nobody goes.
Not sure about you guys, but Arsenal becoming one of the top performers in North America was not on my pre-spring split bingo card. In the era of so-called super teams, the seasoned vet proved us wrong.
Charge with a demo. Oh, but another physical play, okay.
If anything, Daniel's pre-spring departure unlocked the other's potential, as LJ was insane,
LJ, control the ball! LJ, control!
and Hoxer makes his first RLCS LAN since lining up for E-United in Season 8, setting a record-breaking 1,301 days. That's 6 entire events between RLCS LAN appearances. Credit to new coach Sad Jr., as this is clearly a team reinvigorated. Finally, Rule 1 will have their moments. 2 wins and a 3rd place finish were enough to ensure the infamous 1v1 gods dubbed the Twins, I think because they get all twins, will make their RLCS Major debuts. If anyone can top goals like this, we will be very pleasantly surprised. Except, oh wait, there's one guy who eats goals like those for breakfast. Meet Zen.
Zen's still up. Oh my goodness, Zen!
Who first would be found out in 1v1,
He can't be affording to concede again. Oh, and he has! It's a turtle catch shot from Zen.
and then wouldn't perform in the RLCS.
Zen just sends it long. That net is open. That is the 3rd for Vitality.
And now, maybe, won't perform on LAN? Let's be honest, I don't think anyone expects anything but magic from this young Frenchman, who in his first 3 RLCS regionals tasted victory on all 3 occasions. Alongside him, Alpha and Radosin stepped up their game even more, and Vitality looked to have a devastating sting in their tail.
But who knows? LANs can do weird things to teams and people. The only way to find out is to sit back, grab some snacks, and drink in the final RLCS Major before the World Championships.